Welcome to Desert Minimalism, calm out of chaos. Many photographers have told me the desert feels chaotic and difficult to photograph. I used to think the same, but the more time I spend here, the more I've learned that clarity comes from slowing down and really looking. In this video, I'll show you how I find minimalism in one of the most challenging landscapes on Earth. It's a February morning, a dust storm in the Arabian Desert. The sand in the air is circulating in all directions. It's brutal. I never signed up to a natural body exfoliation. Adding insult to injury, I wear contact lenses, my wraparound sunglasses doing nothing to protect my eyes. I open my camera bag briefly to retrieve a cloth. Within seconds, compartments are filled with sand. I ask myself, why am I doing this? So why start this introduction with the perils I've experienced as a photographer? Because it's one way I can offer a window into the world of an extraordinary natural landscape that is known to us all as the Empty Quarter. The Empty Quarter is the world's largest continuous sand desert, covering much of the southern Arabian Peninsula. It stretches across parts of the UAE, Oman, and Saudi Arabia. When I started the process of visually documenting the Empty Quarter, I found it surprisingly chaotic and therefore difficult to envisage an effective composition. Over the years, my photographic style has grown organically to incorporate a minimalistic approach. This shifts our perspective, so the imagery is less about an actual place and more about an emotional connection. Ultimately, I wish to exhibit the character of the desert through intimate, sensitive captures, photographic depictions of its profound beauty, portraits of wilderness that encapsulate an emotional state. For me, the desert is a place to slow down, to see differently. Desert minimalism isn't about taking less, it's about removing what doesn't matter. When I first started to photograph the desert, I would gravitate to heading into the desert when a sandstorm approached. I should openly admit though, on occasion, conditions had been close to perfect. If, of course, perfect is quantified as blue skies, idyllic temperatures, and no wind. Putting yourself into the heart of a desert during a storm, however, provides the experience of solitude and the emotional connection of feeling sand on your skin. Many of my favourite photographs have been captured in these challenging flat light conditions. This offers the ethereal aesthetic that I pursue. Compositionally, I use layers in the desert to draw the eye. Instead of following the curves of the dunes and using the lip as a leading line, I turn 90 degrees and look across the dune. The closest dune becomes my foreground, the next dune adds depth, and the layers continue, leading you naturally toward the main subject, in this case, a solitary tree. Above it all, the sky provides texture and negative space, letting both the landscape and the subject breathe. When I edit, I often intentionally remove distractions, not to change the landscape, but to focus the viewer's attention on what matters. In this desert scene, I knew as I was photographing it that the small stones, desert grasses, and even discarded charcoal could be removed later. They were part of the environment, but they weren't part of the emotional calm I wanted to convey. Removing those elements creates a simpler frame and a more considered composition. Final tweaks, a considered crop, a subtle colour adjustment help balance the image and enhance the aesthetic. There are very few places left in the world where you can hear nothing. The empty quarter is one of them. Capturing that silence in a photograph is challenging, but colour plays a vital role in telling that story. When I first began photographing the Arabian Desert, I preferred to work in black and white. I felt it portrayed the narrative of silence more effectively than colour. The absence of hue, the monotone simplicity, offered tonal freedom and reduced distraction. But something was missing: the warmth. I realised that colour was part of the story, yet if it became too saturated, it could overpower or mislead the emotional intention of the image. So I began processing my photographs with a painterly aesthetic: subtle tones, gentle transitions, and colour that supports the calm rather than dominates it. I also realised that photographing the desert in stormy or overcast conditions was crucial. Those moments of subdued light became the starting point, allowing for a more subtle, understated colour tone. Subject choice in the desert can be surprisingly complex. At first glance, it all appears the same: sand, dunes, sky. But once you spend time here, you begin to notice small differences that make a big impact. I'm not looking for drama or chaos. I'm looking for stillness, form, balance and subtlety. A single tree on the horizon, layers within the dunes, a line of shadow. These become the subjects. They are quiet, but they carry a presence. I'll often walk for hours with a tripod over my shoulder, searching for one clean element that holds character and sits comfortably within negative space. The desert offers endless options, portraits of nature, but many of them are far too busy. I look for a subject that offers aesthetic interest, easy on the eye, and sits within a clean, minimalistic space. When the subject is suitable, I usually feel it long before I take the photograph. It's a sense of calm, a connection, a kind of visual exhale. That's when I'll stop, set up the tripod, and begin to compose. I don't rush the process. On many occasions, fellow photographers have observed the glacial pace that I work at in the field when I'm composing an image. I think my compositional consideration is the reason. I'm visually sorting through what's in front of me. I'm really looking and arguably seeing more. Minimalism in the desert is not about what you include, it's about what you choose to leave out. If you want to experience this silence with me, I'll be guiding a small exclusive workshop in the Empty Quarter next year. It's a trip I only run once a year, but it's certainly a memorable one. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the Empty Quarter.